All right. Good evening. Good evening. It is Thursday, February 17th, 2022. Welcome to the Keeping It Real Conversations with Sunshine show. I am your host, Camila, aka Sunshine. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. The name of the show. Please like and share, subscribe, do all of those good things. We are live on Twitch and we're live on Twitter. I am grateful tonight. As we always say, I believe in 6 degrees of separation. You're one person away, one advice away, and one help away from where you need to be in your destiny. It has been proven over and over again since I started this show in 2020. This evening, I have a great person. I just told him I have been waiting for this conversation for a minute now. For all those who know me, know that I wasn't really into clothes. I really wasn't into shoes and all of these things until I saw this man's website. And I said, well, I need to change some things up. Maybe I need to look at some things differently when it comes to fashion. So this evening, I have Justin Haynes.
Yes.
And he is definitely one of the best, if not the best, and when it comes to fashion. And so I'm going to read his bio. You guys are going to be excited to know him, to support him after this conversation. I am ready to get into his bio. For those who are not my friends on Facebook, it is now public. You guys can like, share, put somebody, share with at least 3 people. Let's get this audience huge for this man right here. Again, Justin Haynes is the international designer and tailor of Justin H. Justin is a creative who designs specifically to deliver confidence and fashion to his clientele's everyday life. Born and raised in Springfield, Massachusetts, Justin is the first designer from his hometown to make history and push boundaries in the fashion industry. With over 13 years of experience, H, Justin H, has been featured in Paris, LA, Miami, and New York Fashion Week. Justin has also been featured on the Nick Cannon Show and also designed for celebrities such as Rihanna, Rio.
Yeah, Brianna.
Justin is known for his classy, ready-to-wear signature style, incorporating multiple bold colors in each of his garments. Inspired by the early 1960s and 70s vintage era, Justin continues to make history in the fashion industry with the original modern twist to it. I want you guys to welcome this wonderful man who is making me smile just by looking at him. Again, this is Justin Haynes. Good evening.
Thank you for having me.
I'm super excited. I was just reading over your bio a few minutes ago about all the things that was first to you from where you're from.
Mhm.
We will get into that. But we connected. I have not met this man in person, but he was highly recommended by Dr. Cookie Humphrey, who is the owner and founder of Compulsive Magazine. She told me that this man right here is who you want to talk to. And I had said before, I wasn't really into clothes. I'm not into shoes, none of those things, because, for some women, I have big feet and I'm flat footed. So I didn't like shoes. And so with clothes, you go in and 1 minute you're wearing a certain size, and next time you go in there, nothing is fitting. So it's like, you know what? I don't know what's going on with this. But when I looked at your clothes and the boldness of your colors and your designs, I was very impressed. And it made me want to actually take another look at fashion. So I want to again welcome you to the show. How's your evening going?
Evening's going well, and again, thank you for having me. I'm totally honored to be here.
So, from my understanding of us going back and forth with your assistant and yourself, you just got done with Fashion Week, correct?
Just came out fresh out of New York Fashion Week as of yesterday.
So explain to the people what actually goes into Fashion Week.
Fashion Week, to know what Fashion Week is, it's a time where designers, all fashion creatives come together and we show designers show their new collections, influencers, bloggers. This is their time to get content and create the content so that they can get it out. So this is our time as a designer and a tailor. This is our time to get things motivated, to get our collections out and to be seen by the eyes of those who we are looking to be seen by. Um, this particular Fashion Week was huge for a lot of us because this is our second one in the pandemic that we were able to actually come together. So fashion is a huge convention of people, of fashion creatives that come together to see different things, see different collections. So if you have not been to Fashion Week, I advise everyone to go and do that. Um, it's just something that it's an experience that you need to have. Even if you're not a designer, if you're not a creative, you need to go and experience the other collections of designers in real life. It's nothing. Seeing it on TV is nothing, but being there in person, buying your ticket, supporting it in person is a whole new atmosphere.
So that was one of my major questions also, because my thinking of Fashion Week, I'm gonna tell you, don't laugh at me and don't judge me. So my first thing of Fashion Week in my head is the movie Cruella
Mm,
and Devil Wears Prada.
okay.
So those are the two ideas that I have when it comes to fashion. And is that a real thing with like the competitiveness?
It's totally real. Those two movies could not exemplify what fashion is, especially the fast pace of it. Especially The Devil Wears Prada. She was a fashion magazine editor, um, huge editor. So to be an editor and to be in fashion, to be invited all these different places, when you become a known name in the fashion, everybody wants you everywhere. So it was nothing that was over exaggerated. It was nothing that was actually screenplayed. It was real life. That's real life in fashion. That's what you see as Fashion Week. We're going from here, there, everywhere. If the editors are not there, they send, if the editor in chief is not there, then they send their editors, then they send their bloggers, then they send, different people. So you're going from here, there, everywhere. So it was not an exaggeration at all.
Wow. And I'm thinking this is just Hollywood. I didn't know that was real.
No, this is real. This is real.
Wow.
That's the life of
Okay,
fashion.
so let's go back into on your actual website for your design. At the bottom it was telling about a lot of your firsts that you experienced from your hometown. Can you tell the people a little bit about those?
Um, I created a lot of firsts. Number one, let me say that because fashion is not really huge in my hometown.
Okay.
So that's where the first came from. Outside of Ruth Carter, who was one of my mentors, excuse me, she was the costume designer, but she's now in LA. So one of my first, I have to start in Info Square, actually where I am right now. Um, I wanted to cast my models before I did anything. I wanted to make sure I was able to get my name out there, but I wanted to do it in this mall, because I was all about mall, I was all about retail, and I wanted to do it in the mall. So I took a chance. I called the mall manager and I'm like, listen, I want to do my casting call, but I don't want to do it anywhere else. I want to do it right in the center of your mall. And she was like, what? She thought it was a crazy, crazy idea, but she entertained it. This was someone that I didn't even have a name for myself at the particular time. I had just started, just actually in the building stages. And she trusted me enough to have shut the whole mall down in the middle and gave me that. So that was a first for me. Outside of that first came, there's so many firsts, and I'm actually saying them out of order. Another dream, another thing was for me, I wanted to have my collection shown in City Hall in my city. Everybody thought I was crazy. Like, that's never going to happen. Thank God for Denise Jordan and one of my colleagues, and also the mayor for accepting me in. I was the first to have an actual fashion show inside of City Hall. That means Everything was shut down. It's after hours, and you see a runway with chairs down these long marble steps. And that was my fashion show. So it was amazing. No one else has come behind me. They tried. No one else has come behind me, but that was another first that I've gained. Um, the only designer in this area that has made it to this many fashion weeks, um, this many magazines, and I count it an honor because this is something that I wanted to make a mark for the city. I wanted it to be that Justin Haynes is from, not from, but that Justin Haynes is from and still here. So when they say, at Fashion Week when they introduced me, Justin Haynes, Springfield, Massachusetts, it's not a thing of a past tense. It's where I still am. So, to see that and go down the runways and to still know that I'm representing a hometown that may not still be 100% fashion oriented. Um, it's good to be the first to know that I'm bringing it back to my hometown.
Even in that, you said so many wonderful points, and of course, we're in a place of controlling the narrative, right?
Right, right,
Most people sometimes feel like you don't get enough recognition from home, that you have to move to a whole nother state, a whole nother city to be recognized. And yet and still, you're still from it placed, your store, everything is placed where you're from. You didn't get up and be like, okay, I made it. Let me move to New York. Let me move to Atlanta. Let me move to California. You're still where you're from. So that's awesome. Um, to be able to like go out my house if I was there and be like, "Oh, I just seen him in a magazine. Oh my god, can I get your autograph? Oh my god, like can you design something for me? Like for me?"
don't get me wrong, that narrative is true. Like, there is so much more support that you get from your outsiders, the people from outside of your city. But you actually hit the hammer right on the nail. I'm trying to come right out of my house and to be walking regular grocery stores, still being able to do what I do. I'm not trying to, like you said, be in New York, where obviously there's a name for me in New York. Obviously there's a name for me in LA. Obviously there's a name for me abroad in Paris and Milan and Singapore and all those places. But I still wanted to still be here. As creatives, anything you do, there's going to be support and a higher level of support elsewhere. But what I used to do is worry about that. I used to worry about that. Why isn't my city supporting me? Why aren't they doing this? Why isn't certain people that I supported? Why aren't they supporting me? And once you get out of that mindset of, either they support you or not, you still have a vision, you still have a dream. So you have to go with it. They're not going to be there to support the dream always. But at the end of the day, are you going to wait for them to give you the accolade to do what you're going to do? Or are you just going to go ahead and do it and hopefully they'll catch on? And that's what I had to do. I had to do it. Whether they catch on or not, whether some people still don't catch on or not. This is my dream. This is my passion. This is what God gave me. So I have to go ahead and do it, regardless if you like it or not.
Absolutely. So, um, there's plenty of errors where we could say that patterns and different designs are always coming back when, as we say, fades or fads. They're always coming back in style. Um, what was it about the 60s and 70s that you just really loved and just was like, okay, I'm gonna put this together and voila, here it is.
It was the chicness of it. It was the classicness of it. If you look back at that era, everyone dressed well. I don't care if they were going to the grocery store. I don't care if they were going down the street, if they were going to the cleaners, wherever they were going, they put on their absolute best. Not only that, but the craftsmanship in the garment, the weight of the materials, everything that was in that era spoke fashion and style. And that's what I want to bring back. I want to bring that era back. I don't care if you do have on a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, it still needs to be presented in a way that is still classic, clean, and tailored. And that's why I gear so much to that era, because they really cared about how they looked.
Absolutely. I can think of course I wasn't born in the 60s,
Yeah,
but
me neither.
the hula hoop dresses, I can think of like Happy Days type of with
Right,
the
right, right.
L and the little poodle on the skirt. I thought those was really really cute. And like they all had just like a regular blouse, maybe a little black belt to it, but it was simple, but it was beautiful. And it has that style right there has actually tested the times. It's even coming back.
Right.
Um, and I'm so elated to see that, as we say, sometimes history goes without saying. History sometimes is history. Once it's
Mhm.
done, they put it on the shelf and they don't think about it anymore. But the point that you went back and said, look, the boldness, the colors, how the patterns were made, we need to bring that back. And now that everybody is taking a hold to this, um, what do you say to a person who deciding to, hey, I want to get into fashion, and they've been told no several times. Like, this ain't it. Try something else. This is not your lane. What do you tell them?
I mean, the passion has to come within. So, um, if you feel the need, and let me just clear this: fashion and style are two different things. So we need to make sure that we understand that. Stylist and fashion is two different things. Fashion is what we wear. That's what you can go to the store and pick right out. Fashion, all of us can be in fashion because that's what we do. We wear that. So anything that you wear is fashion. Now, styling is something totally different. Style is what you make. Style is how you put it together. Style is what really brings out the person and brings out the fashion. So if you want to be in fashion, you already are. However, if there's a passion to be in style, that's a totally different thing. And no one else can create that. No one else can tell you if it's right for you, but you. Your style is unique. Your style is who you think. Now, there are some who create styles off of other people. That's not what we're talking about. I know what you're talking about as far as someone who has a passion to style and create. If you have that passion to style and create, you can't worry about what everybody else thinks or if they think that you're wrong. A lot of people thought I was wrong. A lot of people thought that I was crazy for putting all these patterns together and wearing all these different colors. You know, they would laugh at me. So what? I didn't care. You know, the more they laughed and the more they thought that it was wrong, the more I kind of went out of the box. And look at me now, you know. So it wasn't really about what they thought. And I tell anybody, if you're in style, if you want to be a stylist, if you want to be a designer, if you want to be a tailor, it's not what anybody else thinks, it's what you think. What is your creative mind telling you to do?
So, with that being said, like I want to say in Corella, um, the one lady was actually drawing her designs, and then
Mm-hmm.
she would put together the material, the beat, the set. I guess I would call it accessories and beads and things of
Mm-hmm.
that nature. So, are you actually in all of that as well, or it's just like, okay, somebody brings a design, yeah, I like that, or is that from start to finish? That's you.
No, no, no. That's not me at all. I mean, there are companies and people who are set up that way. I'm in the process from start to finish. So the pattern, the cutting, the design, that's me. The sewing, the stitching, and all of that, that's me. I have maybe like one other person, maybe two, my mentor who helps me out every now and then to help me finish certain garments, but I don't have a production staff like that. The reason being, everything's kind of one of a kind, everything's couture. So you really won't, I don't need a production company right now. And plus I have trust issues. I started out that way, having someone else sew what I thought in my designs, and it wasn't coming out right. You know, it wasn't coming out. It would come out, but it wasn't what I wanted. So nobody can pull your vision out but you. You know, so that's why I had to take hold of it and start doing things my way. And when I did, the result was much better. So that's not me. I think down the road it will be, but I still will have a full hand in what's produced and what's brought out. Like there's no way I'm just going to pass something over to something because it's mine, it's my baby. So I have to make sure that you're still producing what is in my head, not yours, because it's my vision.
Absolutely. And that's a good point too. A lot of times we can communicate what we see, what we feel, and sometimes it's like they'll try, but then be like, you know what, just give it to me because yeah, you're not getting it. And you
It's a waste of
frustrated me
time.
trying to explain it to you. Just forget it.
Right. It's a waste
I'm
of
good.
time. So, sometimes it's just good to, just do it yourself sometimes. And I'm not saying kill yourself, don't do what I do, stay up all night and get things done. I'm not saying to do that, but there are some times in some areas that the creativity is here and nobody can be in that space with you.
Absolutely. So what was the call like or the letter when they invited you to all these different cities, Miami, LA, Paris to do Fashion Week?
Believe it or not, a lot of people think it is letters, but it's a quick. Now Instagram is so heavy, so it's a quick Instagram DM. It's email or it's a call. It happened so quick for me. I think it was 2018 was my first season of Fashion Week. It was in this warehouse. It was a small boutique fashion week and that's another thing for everybody to know. Like, there's so many tiers of New York Fashion Week that you got to make sure that you do your research and that you're going to shows that are on the official calendar that are officially branded by New York Fashion Week. So this show particularly was one of those side really tier one shows. I'm all excited. I'm going, my family's there. Even my mom was like, just I was expecting so much more. We was in this big white warehouse, no runway. The runway was kind of made in chairs or whatever. I did my thing and I was kind of disappointed because I'm like, this is not really what I thought, New York Fashion Week was. Of course, for my first time walking around, there was a mishap in my music. We had to end up going to like this classical kind of drama music. I was like disappointed in the back and ready to cry, whatever. I walk out afterwards and like everybody's in awe, like it's just like quiet. And I'm like, okay, they hate the collection. Everything's not right. I walk out, everybody's clapping and whatever. And then I see this guy sitting on the end of the runway and he's dressed really nice. He points at me and he says, great collection. You're the best I've seen tonight. And I'm like, okay, this one little guy, whatever. Had to be maybe 5 days later. I get the email and I get this thing where they did the top 10 looks of boutiques and small businesses and of New York Fashion Week. And I made number 2. That was the editor of Elle magazine sitting right there. You never know where you are. So from there, he was one of the editors. He sent me a message. He was like, it was great. It was wonderful. After that, I kid you not, maybe about 2 days later, LA Fashion Week called me. They was like, we need you in LA in 2 weeks. We want to show you. So I'm scrambling up, I'm like, oh, what do I do? How do I get a collection done in 2 weeks? Let me get there. Got to LA. From LA, it was Miami. From Miami, it was back to LA. Then after that, it was Paris. Then it was this. So like things just started trickling right into place. So a lot of times, like it was looking at the phone and I was getting things from my Instagram and I'm like, is this a hoax? Is this really real? But it really is real. Like people are looking at you and they're trying to find you the best way they can. So when I tell you, it was like one door kind of opened the next and the next and the next. And then look at it, I'm here. So it was definitely a trickle effect from one place that I thought really wasn't going to get me anywhere that got me all of this.
So I know I read also, and this is when I say you is blessing my soul. So it's always like we say that one person away, one advice away, one help away from where you need to be in your destiny. It's been proven. And so I was reading about your faith. And this had to be one of the faith walks that you had to do in doing what you do. If you would have listened to the naysayers, if you would have listened to the voice and be like, you know what, this ain't real. I'm not going. I'm not wasting my time. And then look, you got there. It didn't all pan out the way you scheduled it.
Right.
And you didn't have fear to be like, you know what, to pull me is not working the way I had it planned out. But guess what? God had a plan for you.
Sure did. Sure did. He sure did.
And
Let me tell
now
you.
somebody major that you didn't even know was sitting there watching you, even in the midst of pressure, in the midst of the music not going right, and all of this stuff going wrong, you still had to show up. I just said a word right there.
That's
You
it.
still
That's
had to show up and
For
act
sure.
like nothing's wrong. And the doors start opening from that point. I wanted to be a fly in the room on the wall when you read the Instagram message, the DM be like, listen, sir, I need you in LA right now. I need you in Paris right now. So do you actually have any time to change the collection or is just the same one?
Oh no. I changed. I come from a background from the Gap where there was something constantly changing all the time. So I was there 19 years, and when I tell you we changed windows like it was changing our pants. Like every week, every day, it was a window change. And I come from that era where there was something kind of fresh and new, always in the front of the store, always something refolded, always something revamped. And from that retail era, that's where I grew my passion to always make sure that there was something clean and new that came out. So that's why I don't mind staying up, because I don't ever want anything to be dull and not evolving. So if you saw it one time, there's no sense to see it again. And a lot of times now, I don't even, a lot of my pieces don't make it off the runway. And people can tell you all the time, like there's people lined up outside. I was at New York and people lined up like, how do I get that coat? Let me get that coat. So a lot of that stuff I don't keep. But there will be never a time, unless it's something really like emergency era, where if there's a show that I show the same thing. I don't think that that's necessary for me. I'm not saying not knocking anybody else, but for me, I have to make sure that there's something clean coming down the runway. I have too much visibility that people can't keep seeing the same thing over and over again.
Absolutely. And I'm going to say, for all those who know me know I love blue.
My
So
favorite color.
listen here. I said I'm gonna put my blue on and my pearls tonight. Put my little makeup on, and I was like, I'm gonna be blue out. Like blue
You look
is
good.
in.
You look good. You look good.
Listen here, and I'm looking at you. I said, I think he was in my closet. I think he was.
Well, blue is my favorite color, as you can clearly see. So,
I saw that, and I was like, oh, is his beard blue?
it is, and we'll stay blue.
Oh yes, Jesus. That was my next look. I'm thinking about dyeing my hair blue.
Okay, go for it. No one's
Listen,
stopping you but you.
no, nobody's stopping me. Okay, I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna jump, and whatever blue it comes out, it is what it is, and it was on purpose.
No, that's it. That's
It
right.
was on purpose.
That's right.
So now that we've gotten Fashion Week, and so what's the next plan for? Are we going on vacation now, or are we going back to the drawing board? What we doing?
It would be great to go on vacation, but that's not really what's going to happen right now. We're going back to the drawing board. There's so much stuff that I have to get ready for, and I'm going into prom season right now, so there's a lot still to be done. I was just talking to my production director and his wife. I'm like, I just really need, just give me a couple of, like, give me a week where I can just roll up some khakis on a t-shirt, just go somewhere and not bring all these like these heavy bags. But that's going to come soon. But yeah, there's so much in store right now. There's so much that's on the horizon, so much in the forecast that I got to keep moving. I got to keep moving. So the creative mind is on.
Yes, I was just about to ask that. When it comes to being creative, I know for me, I have trouble sleeping because my mind doesn't shut off. I would love for it to shut off. Not saying I'm dead, but just have a clear mind. No, no, I'm thinking about what I'm gonna ask when he gets on here. How am I gonna dress? What is this? What is that? And I'm constantly going forward and I don't know how to shut it off. So is that for you as well, or
No, it's every creative that I talk to, even my creative friends. It's we often say like either you're not a real creative if you're not going to bed at 5 or if you're not waking up at 5. Like there's always something, and everybody can always say, Justin, you need to get some rest. You need to rest. But even in my sitting down, in my resting, there's still that term that's still going on. Like I was like, I wish I could push pause and say, you know what, brain, stop. So that I can look and think about something else, but there's constantly something going on. And that's a mind of a creator. So I think it's just everybody who creates music, fashion, regardless of what it is. I think if you're a creator, you're constantly thinking of what's next, constantly think of how can I do better than I did yesterday. And that's me. My only competition is me. I don't worry about anybody else. So outside of yesterday, okay, what am I going to do better today for me? I don't care about the next brand. I don't care about the next designer, the next tailor, whoever it is. That's not my concern. My concern is me. So that's where my mind keeps going.
okay, let me ask this.
Sure.
And it could be several people. And I'm gonna go with dead or alive.
Okay.
Who would you love to style?
Oh, that's everybody asks me this
Don't
question.
jump out the chair now. You got so
Everybody asked me this question. And even at Fashion Week, when I went to headquarters, they were like, we're just waiting for that one person. And I'm like, you guys know who it is. Erica Badu is my number one. Like, I cannot wait to get her in a photo shoot and just kind of just style her all together. That's who I want. I want her in my clothes. I want her in my brand. The next one was Nick Cannon. I've always wanted to put Nick Cannon in something since Drumline, and then when this opportunity came, to be on the show and all that other stuff. And then there's other stuff leading up to it. Leading up past that, his suit is made and it's in his hand. Those are two. And then my last one is Katy Perry. So there's three. So Erica Badu's number one is Nick Cannon and there's Katy Perry. So those are my three that have been a long time dream. But Erica, I'm waiting for her to just give me that call.
So is that for how they already are, or it's just the whole being of that person that you want to?
It's both. It's both. I love Erica Badu's style. I love who she is as a person. I like who she represents. She represents her, regardless of who cares, and I love that about her. Yeah, that's really why each of them have their own kind of sense of style that I appreciate, and that's why they've always been on my radar.
So you guys, for all those who are on live or on the feed, if you have a question for him, please write it in the chat so I can actually ask. This is very exciting, so we can actually have a dialogue with our people while they're getting their questions together. Have you had anyone try to mimic your design?
Absolutely.
So what you say?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's still happening to this day, but what can you do? But just try to keep doing what you do and try to maintain a sense of integrity that your customers will still come back to you. I don't worry about that anymore. I used to worry about like, why are they doing what I'm doing? Why do they want to do what I'm doing? But it's not about me. It's not about them. I have to trust and believe that my customers, and they have, like I have, when I tell you, I couldn't ask for any better customers than I do right now because they are loyal to they're loyal to me. They are loyal to my, I don't care how many people go and try to get them. They are loyal. They always come back. And I have weekly customers. So I'm thankful, for that. But of course, I think anybody in a creative space, and anytime somebody sees something happening and it's happening good, they want to try to get there. Of course, they're going to try to get it to see what it is that they can do or see if they can do it better. But let me tell you this. Let me tell anybody this. Just because you see me or anybody else doing great in what they're doing now, you don't know what it took for us to get here. So, like, if you're looking for quick and fast money, unfortunately, it's not going to come to you that way, especially if you're not doing it for the right reason. If you're not doing it for the right reason, there's no good that's coming to you. So I have to tell you that now, and I have to tell you that the truth. Because you have to have good intentions and you have to make sure that's a God-given talent that you're working in. You can't just work off your own and think because, oh, he must be making thousands of dollars, so let me try to do it too. No. It took me 13 years to get where I am. So you got to go through the fire.
Absolutely. And you're gonna make me get off this couch and start shouting in a minute because it's the truth. Because again, they don't understand the background. They don't understand the trials and tribulations you had to do. I don't see you staying up to 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't see you at falling asleep with the needle in your hand. I don't know.
Right.
But at the end of the day, with all of this sacrificing that you had to do in order for it to be, manifesting and getting the dividends that you put in.
Right.
You can't just get on the train at the end and think you got the what?
And there's plenty people that can. There's plenty that think they can, but I'm here to tell you different. You've got to put the work in. You got to put the work in.
Okay, we got a question.
Sure.
So
sure.
If you are trying to break into the fashion industry, is it best to start off with an internship?
It is. It's definitely best to start with an internship, and it's also best to start with mentorship. You have to find a mentor that's already in that field, and also too that can help you in internship. So I do recommend interning, but I also recommend a mentor so that you can get education. Anything that you run into or anything that you go into new, you need to make sure that you're well educated. And this particular industry, I can't say it enough to anybody. You have to be well educated in this industry to be able to move forward the way you do. This is nothing that you can just kind of just take anybody's word for. You've got to be oriented and well educated, and that means finding the educators that have been through it and that have been through in this industry that can help you. So yes, I do recommend internship with a liable company, and I do recommend mentorship.
Absolutely. Um, do anyone else have any other questions while we're having this dialogue? Again, I am having the best time ever. Again, this conversation is really changing the idea of what it comes to fashion. Um, coming from the tomboyish part to now coming and walking into my femininity
Hmm.
is definitely a journey to get back into the clothes that says what sunshine feels, and as well as shoes. So can you tell the people, I've been on your website, but can you tell the people what they will see when they're on your website, like shoes and things of that nature?
So you won't see any shoes. What you'll see on my website is just a lookbook. So there'll be like my current collections. There isn't any sale options there because again, I create, one-on-ones and I create per customer. So you go on my website, you will see the current lookbook that's there. You go on my Instagram, you will see all of my day-to-day fashion, everything that I do fashion, you will see that there. And also on Facebook. So um, yeah, I mean, there's a link there that you can request to get garments made. It'll go to my assistant and myself. And that's how we garment and outfit people. But you won't be able to click on anything and just purchase it right away.
Okay. So, say we're in your town, and is it a appointments, or I just want to get
Appointment
fitted
only.
for an outfit?
Appointment only. You just can't pop up. It's appointment only. And I do have ready to wear garments. So like if there's anything that is already you see it on my page and it's from a magazine and you want that particular and it's your size, of course I sell and it's ready to wear. So of course I'm ready to get that garment out to you. However, it is by appointment only. So you have to contact me, you have to set up an appointment so that you can come in, and even if you want something custom made, it's all by appointment. You just can't walk in. You have to set up something so that I can give you the time that you need to make sure that we can get it all done.
Absolutely. Just a side note. So, how many pair of glasses you own?
I own a lot of pair of glasses. This is not anything that I have to wear. This is not anything that's totally fashionable. I need my glasses, everyone. So it's a part of my look. It's a part of who I am because I need them. So it's something it's a part of my wardrobe. So it's something I'm constantly purchasing because I can't purchase clothes or I can't, sew clothes and not make sure that my eyewear is not matching that. That's just my only, my mom's the same way. My mom has tons of pair of glasses because she gets one too. But my mom's she also realizes it's part of her wardrobe. So yeah, I own a lot of pair of glasses, a lot. Frames
I
are
kind of
it.
figured that. I felt that in my
You know,
spirit.
frames. I grab a frame every time I see it and it looks good. I grab a frame.
Wow. We have another question on the
Sure,
table. Do
sure.
you take interns, and if so, how can a person connect with you?
I do take interns. You can connect with me via Instagram. That's the official Justin H. Or you can send me an email at JUS10H. My assistants handle that. JUS10H at mail.com. So that's just 10H at mail.com, not Gmail, just regular mail. You can send me your resume, your CVC. You send all that to me. Let me know the things that you've already done and where I will be able to place you if I am in need of your services. For intern, I need to know what you're good at. So I know if you're a best fit for me. But yes, I'm always taking interns, always. I just had a group of interns help me out at New York Fashion Week who were amazing. So I'm thankful for them. But yeah, I'm always looking to expand the brand.
Wow. So Fashion Week was where this time?
New York.
New
Fashion was
York?
in New York. Yes, this was New York. I didn't go to Paris actually getting ready to go into Milan season right now, but I didn't go abroad this season. I'm just going to wait until everything kind of continues to slow down with COVID and
COVID.
everything. But this was New York Fashion Week last season. I mean, well, last week this season. So it was yeah, it started on the 11th and it went to yesterday, which is the 16th.
So, excuse me. With for those who are not into fashion, is this the first of the many of the year considering the fashion week, or this is set every year? Is this next one is, or how does that go?
Fashion Week is always New York Fashion Week, and Fashion Weeks are always set between February, March, and September, October. So every year at those times, that's Fashion Week seasons. So we normally the end of January starts Paris. That's Men's Week, goes into regular Paris Fashion Week, and then you go right into New York, then to Milan, and then like Milan and London are the same week. So you have to, you have to know. Sometimes dates various change. Paris may change it from starting to ending, but just know from like the last week of January to like mid March is your first season, which will always be your fall winter. September and October will always be spring summer.
Okay. I'm excited. Oh my god. So what was another thing that, say for instance, if you wasn't doing fashion, what is something else you might have wanted to do?
I can't say there was anything that I might have wanted to do. I come from a music oriented family,
Mm-hmm.
where it's definitely in the church. Singing the choir, directed the choir. I was all of that, but
I was about to
that's
say
not
you
a
look
passion
like
for
you
me.
can be on the organ somewhere.
No, 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 no organ, no organ. I've never been a passion to play. Teaching parts and doing that is always been something of mine. Is it my first love? No, it's not. It used to be, but it's not anymore. Fashion has always been what I wanted to do. I think music was a segue to it, and it's still something that I have to keep my hand into. I believe that's where God kind of wants me to be. I believe that's how He's setting me up for the next. However, it's not where I want to do. So I can't really see myself anywhere else but in fashion. If I wasn't doing anything on my own, it would probably be back working for some company in retail space. That's where I am. Fashion is what I am. It's who I am. Um, that's what I do.
So I don't think I asked this question. Did you actually go to school for fashion or no? Or this was just
I
natural
did
for
not.
you?
I went to school. I went to school for business management. And the reason why I went to school for business management because I was managing at the Gap. I was a visual manager, so I went to make sure. And I was at school, still running a store visually. So I would go to school, go straight and work a 40-hour week. So that's what I was doing. So it was I took no sewing classes. Miss Jessie, my mentor, that's why I said it's good to have a mentor. She taught me everything that I know, from pattern cutting to my circles, my blocks, to how to bring fabrics together, what choices of fabrics to make. She set me down in her basement for 6 months. I'll never forget it. She helped me out with my first show. And I told her, I was like, Miss Jessie, my next show, I was like, I want to try to sew it myself. She said, you will. And I believe we went down in her basement and I thought she was going to sit. She said, sit down. She put the fabric in front of me. She said, no, this is what we're going to start doing first. I'm going to teach you how to thread a needle. I'm going to teach you to do this. I'm going to teach you to do that. And I'm serious. Like everything that I know to do with clothing and fashion right now and sewing all came from her. She set me down and she gave me everything. She was our fashionista when I was little. She was making everything, her bags, her shoes matched. Everything was great. And she set me down and she was very hard on me. She was nothing that she would let me get by with. I never remember one night I had a dress I had to finish, and I went over there and asked her, "Can you help me? Can you help me finish this?" And I thought I was going to drop it off and let her thought. When she sat down, I was like, "Good, she's going to finish this for me." She went over to the sewing machine just to cut it on. She said, "Now sit there. You're going to finish it. I'm going to sit there and watch you finish the dress." And I thought that was hard. I thought that was the hardest thing ever. But I look back at it today, and she helped me get where I am because if I didn't finish that dress myself, I would never be able to know how to sew now.
So yes. And I think that is a when I'm listening to it is teaching the lesson The lesson being, I could teach you, I could show you, but it's better for you to do hands on.
Hmm.
That way you'll always learn, you'll always know how to do it, regardless if I'm here or not. And also, there will be a time that once you figured it out, got it, mastered it, now you can teach someone else. That's
Right.
the whole point.
Hmm.
From I have aunties um that were sewers. And they made the living. That wasn't the only thing they did, especially when robe time came for the choir, and you want to cut costs. Go get the material, what you
Right,
want on
right,
it, and they
right.
went to a seamstress, which was my aunties. So
Good for them.
again, now I'm just gonna throw this out here since you from the church. Robes is coming back, you guys,
Mm.
and I can wear one of those with the the jacket with all the different stuff on it.
Y'all go ahead and wear
I
the
want that
robes if they're
robe.
coming back. Yeah, go ahead
They
and wear the
coming back.
robes if they're coming back.
The
Y'all go ahead and wear them.
robes
I,
are
I ain't
coming
wearing
back.
one, but y'all go ahead and wear them. Y'all go ahead and wear
Not in the summertime though, people. Those were the hottest things ever. Please,
them.
not in the summer. Any other questions, you guys? Before I let him go. Again, I'm loving the blue. I'm loving what you have on. I
Thank you.
love what I've seen so far. I've watched the Nick Cannon show when you were on there. I watched and looked at a lot of your interviews that you had with other people. And my thing is, I always want to show the human part of us. You know
Hmm.
us for one thing, but that's not all I'm about. And
Right.
so I know you mentioned your mom. Are there other siblings? Are you the only child?
No, I'm not the only child. I'm actually the middle. I was the baby. I am the middle. So I have an older brother, an older sister, and I have a younger sister. So I'm the dead right in the middle.
So do you style them or no?
Oh yeah, I mean, every now and then I do. I'm so busy with other things. My mom, I do a lot of her clerical stuff. So like a lot of
Okay.
her robes, I do all of that. But nothing like not a lot of everyday stuff. I don't do. My brother may ask me to do a suit here and there. My sister may ask me to do something here and there. They know how busy I am. But my mom she's the main one that when I do all her preaching garments and all that stuff, she's one of the only few that I'll do. I don't do a lot of preaching garments, and I refuse to do that. It's her and a couple of, I have one bishop in Florida, Bishop McCrae, who's excellent, and Bishop Gilliard, who's another excellent clergyman that I use, that I create for. So yeah, my mom will be my most out of everybody, but my brother asks for suits every now and then.
Okay. So we all know, Lynn already said it, that it's not vacation time, but soon that time will come. So what a vacation will look like for you.
Like I said, it'll be on some. It doesn't have to be on an island because I don't really care about that. It'll be someplace nice, a tad bit warm. I don't like hot heat. I don't like anywhere over 90 degrees. I don't like that. 70-degree weather is good. Somewhere I can just roll a couple pair of khakis, t-shirts, some Vans, one pair of shoes, and that's it. That's all I want. I'm so used to when I travel. I have so much stuff because of the
Yeah.
clothing and my clothing and everything that I need for the show. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to travel with a small little backpack, small little duffel, and kind of go and just kind of enjoy myself without the hassle of bringing everything. Make sure everything gets there. If I send it, make sure I don't want to do that. That's a vacation for me. Just going carefree.
Absolutely. I have also read a couple of times where things have been lost in traveling.
Mhm.
Has any of that ever happened to you?
Thank God that has never happened. I travel a lot. If I don't send it ahead of time, I travel with it's traveling with me. So I make sure it's checked in. I make sure it's trackable and all of that stuff. So I don't ever not know what's going on. But thank God to this day, even traveling abroad, everything has made it to the destination that it needed to be. So I'm thankful for that.
Absolutely. We got time for one more question. I hope you are enjoying yourself. I know it's very relaxed for us to actually talk. And like I said, I'm really into showing our humanity when it comes to our day to day,
Mhm.
what we're passionate about, why we're why we were created. Actually,
Mhm.
it's about the bigger picture. It's not just for the here and now. It's the bigger picture. So for
Right.
me, listening to you, it has so much that a garment that you have created or a person that you have styled has actually been able to have that moment with God, because I know you know that these designs don't come out of thin air.
Mm-mm.
They're definitely from God.
Of course.
And so
Of course.
when I design you, or I mean design you, style you, or I'm creating something for fashion week or whatever the case may be, this is a God sent arrangement that he gave to me visually for you. So also, how do you continue to be calm in a stormy weather, at meaning fashion week, all of this? How do you stay calm?
I can stay calm now because I'm used to it.
Okay.
Before I couldn't, I think it comes with time. It comes with, you doing something over and over again where you know the ins and outs, the good and bad. So staying calm now, I have to say a lot of my assistants keep me calm. I have great models, they keep me calm. Anytime I could walk in and get a fitting done of 20 models and all of them are just happy and positive and, excited to walk for me, that's a calm moment for me. That's a success story. So yeah, I don't know. I think now on the positives and how just being in the moment that I am now is a success. And I just take it all in and I don't try to let it overwhelm me like it used to. It used to overwhelm me a lot of times. And I try to get it now that it's not an overwhelming thing.
Well, I'm gonna put this out here. Now remember I said it now.
All right.
The next
Okay.
time you do a fashion show, any of those, I do model.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Okay.
good at it
You have a
too.
all right. Do you have your comp card and everything ready?
I, I don't know nothing about what you're talking about,
All
but
right.
I
Oh, that's another thing for any models that want to model. You've got to have your stuff together. So that consists of a comp card with sizes and everything. So if you don't know what comp card is and you want to model, definitely need to send me a message so I can help you out.
well, I'm gonna work on that.
All right.
I did. I
All
think
right.
I did. Let me see, one, two, three shows.
Now, was it a fashion show or a runway show? I mean, like,
It
you have
was
to.
runway.
Okay. Nice.
And it would, matter of fact, I just got asked today, for someone who has a boutique, of shows. What? Oh, they have clothings in the malls here in Michigan, and
Congratulations.
my first show was with her, and she just
Nice.
asked me today. In the day that she's having it, I already have another event, so I'm so like
Wow.
heartbroken because I really love her clothing, and I told her if she was gonna do it again, let me know. So
Nice.
that's
Nice.
something that I've been saying. If women and men, if you never done one before, I recommend doing it at least once. It's something that will, like you said, when you design something, when you have the everyday life on your clothes, that you're trying to build the person confidence or keep the confidence up. And I believe that modeling does that for you when you put the clothes on and you just
Now it
shine.
builds. It definitely builds confidence. But I have to um, kind of say a little something a little different than what you have. Modeling is not for everybody. So I
That's
don't I
true.
don't suggest I don't suggest everybody taking a hand in it or making that be what you want to build your confidence. You have to It has to be something that you have a look for. It has to be something that you have a passion for. It has to be something that um whoever the designer is, whatever, can actually utilize you. So I wouldn't say, and I just want to retract that everybody should not model because it's not for everybody. A lot of people can't handle the fast pace of being a model. Everybody can handle being in front of a camera. So if you're shy and all of that stuff, it's not meant for you. So I just wanted to put that out there. But if it is meant for you, definitely make sure that you get educated on what you need to have as a model so that you can present yourself well.
Yeah, it definitely will build your confidence up. I mean, once I did it and I did it again and I did it again, it was like I want to say, well, dang it, you sure look good. You should.
It's an acquired talent. So like if it's something that you have a passion for, of course do it, you know. But a lot I get so many times where um I get calls, hey, I'm reaching out to you because my mom said I should be a model. No, what do you want to do? Forget about what your mom wants you to do. You know, if your mom wants to be a model, your mom needs a model. But you can't not keep sending people because you feel that they're a model and then you tell them to be a model and then it actually goes downhill from there. They want to do it.
Actually, yes. Especially, I'm gonna make sure you get my information. Now, if you got some blue, it's a wrap. I don't care what
All
color
right.
blue. It's done. It's over with. I'm telling
All
you.
right.
I'm
All right.
warning you. It's over.
Okay. All right.
So I got one more question before we get off.
Sure, sure.
And she says, so as a parent, if you notice the desire of your preteen has passion for that, how should you go about helping them to break into it, into the
Is this
fashion
modeling?
industry?
The industry or this is modeling?
It was the fashion industry.
Fashion industry. If read the question again to me, I'm sorry.
She said, hold on. So, as a parent, if you notice the desire your preteen has for passion, how should you go about helping them to break into the fashion industry?
Okay, so first of all, if you notice it, that's good, but they also need to express it.
Okay.
That's number two. So you noticing it and they haven't expressed it is something totally different. So like you can say that, you know, you feel that they're supposed to be in the fashion industry, but if it's not what they want, you can't make them. That's number one. Number two, if it is something that they've expressed to you, it goes back to my other point. You've got to get educated in it and you've got to hook them up to, I don't care what age it is, you have to hook them up to mentors that can actually get them in the right direction. So that means you asking questions as a parent to these particular mentors or to these particular people that you see in the industry that's actually doing what it takes in the industry and get educated in it to find a way to actually get them involved. Now, how are they getting involved? Is it designing that they want? Is it tailoring and sewing that they want? Is it do they want to be a stylist? Do they want to be a model? So those are the questions that you need to ask so that you can get them in the right direction and get them into what they need to do, regardless of what the age is. If the passion is there, they shouldn't wait till they're 30, 40 years old. Let them get into it now. But take those steps first. Ask them, wait for them to tell you, make sure or have that conversation. Just don't you take it upon yourself to say this is what they're going to do. Because I tell you, it will go downhill. So make sure you have that conversation, see what it is that they want to do, and then get them a mentor.
What about just to add on to that? Like say for instance, if they're not able to get the mentorship and they decide they want to take courses in school for fashion, um, do you prefer that as well? Like say
I
for
mean, they
instance,
definitely
where
can.
they can break it down to.
I mean, they definitely can. I don't, even with education, you're still going to need a mentor. You're still going to
Okay.
need somebody who's living in it. These are teachers that are getting paid to do this. So, of course, they're going to give you the education that you need. However, you still need, and I'm adamant about this, you have to have someone that's working consistently in the industry for you to know what it is, what the industry is all about. You know, you can learn all day, you can textbook it all day, you could go on YouTube all day, but if you're not talking to someone who's living in it, you won't get the full 411.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Is there anything you want to say to the people before we get off this evening?
No, you guys have been great. I thank you for having me on the show. Um, I'm honored, and thank you all for your questions. If anybody else has any other questions, you can definitely feel free to reach out to the podcast, and they'll get to me, and you can get right to me. That's not a problem. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But thank you all for even having me on. I appreciate it.
Well, you guys, again, please like and share. If you are on YouTube, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It is the name of the show, Keeping It Real Conversations with Sunshine. Again, this was an awesome Q&A. Awesome letting us know who he is. Awesome finding out that we love blue. If you don't love blue, I don't know what's wrong with you. Again, our motto is we believe in 6 degrees of separation. You are one person away, one advice away, one help away from where you need to be in your destiny. And we are out. See ya.
See you later.